Well, okay, so, hello, my name is Onyx, and welcome to today's video. If I sound horrible, it's because I am sick, but, so today, this is going to be kind of a different video. Today we're going to be doing something I've not done before, and have barely tested, but today we're going to be doing, Xman Smp in the Hunger Games. This should be pretty fun, and yeah. We got all our competitors here, so let's get into the competitors. First, let me just get a sip of this hot chocolate real quick. Alright, here in District 1, we got Mr. Xman himself. You know, the creator of Xman Smp. Yeah. So, teaming with him will be God, also known as Xman 723. The 2. This is his second channel, also known as the God of the server. And then District 2 here, we got Flo. The person who was once an artist for the server, a fan artist. And then became first-hand member of the SMP. And then with Flo here in District 2, we got Redacted Bonnie, also known as Bonnie. You know, some people call her annoying, pretty often like Xman, but you know. And District 3 here, we got Mystic, you know, pretty well known in the community with his castle here. And then we have Draven. Not really much to say about Draven, you know. Okay. And now District 4 here, we have Junkie. You know, FNAF Junkie. All know him, all love him. And his partner and son Alex, who happens to be claiming himself as amazing. And here in District 5, we have the Groomer 11 with Connor Faz, you know. Connor's gonna have to be teamed with a, Groomer, but should be fine. But here in District 6, we got Warrior and CF. So, CF will probably have to be the more competent one for the district, but, you know. But okay, over in District 7 here, we have that one Fear Man, also known as Fear. And then we have Faznos, one of his friends. And District 8, we got the two Foxes. We got Foxy Boy and Fox Gamer. Which, you know, pretty appropriate for them to be working together as both foxes. And then District 9 here, we have Oscar with his, goldfish profile, and then Mr. Ofek, or Oogway, as some people might call him. You know. And District 10 here, we got Inkman and GameBest. GameBest's pretty well-known add-on creator, like for Gmod and all. And GameBest, you know, it's GameBest. In District 11 here, we got Rocco and Shovel. You know, we got the Puppet Man and Mr. Beast, you know. And then here in District 12, we have Ashy, you know, the Xman Smp or Stalker, whatever you want to call him. And we have the all-around Old Man Jenkins. Felt appropriate to include him here, you know, opposed to some of the other members, even though, you know, but Old Man Jenkins, let's see if he can take over and dominate the Xman after the game. Alright, let's get into round 1. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. 11 Inkman and Draven get into a fight. Inkman triumphantly kills them both. Rocco grabs the shield, leaning on the cornucopia. God runs away from the cornucopia. Fox Gamer runs away from the cornucopia. Shovel runs away from the cornucopia. Oogway is unable to convince Redacted not to kill him. Flo runs away from the cornucopia. Ashy runs away from the cornucopia. Foxy Boy runs away from the cornucopia. Xman takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Faznos runs away from the cornucopia. Alex runs away from the cornucopia. CF runs away from the cornucopia. Oscar runs away from the cornucopia. Junkie runs away from the cornucopia. GameBest runs away from the cornucopia. Mystic runs away from the cornucopia. Old Man Jenkins runs away from the cornucopia. Warrior bashes Fear's head in with a mace. And Connor runs away from the cornucopia. Day 1. CF injures herself. Junkie begs for Shovel to kill him. He refuses, keeping Junkie alive. Redacted hunts for other tributes. Old Man Jenkins picks flowers. No, not really in character for him, you know. Xman, Rocco, Mystic, and Foxhammer raid Connor's camp while he is hunting. God and Foxy Boy hunt for other tributes. Inkman receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Vlo chases Phasnos. Oscar constructs a shack. Gamebest stalks Ashy. Warrior discovers River. And Alex questions his sanity. 4 screams can be heard in the distance. 11, Draven, Oogway, and Fear. Alex once again questions his sanity. Gamebest loses sight of where he is. God receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Warrior sets Vlo on fire from Molotov. Molotov, however you pronounce it, you know. Junkie tends to Old Man Jenkins' wounds. Don't really think that's a good idea, but you know. Foxy Boy tends to his wounds. Redacted silently snaps Shovel's neck. CF, Oscar, Connor, and Foxhammer sleep in shifts. Phasnos destroys Mystic's supplies while he is sleeping. Inkman falls into a frozen lake and drowns. Xman looks at the night sky. Ashley stays awake all night, and Rocco tries to sing himself to sleep. Day 2. Xman shoots an arrow at Mystic, but misses and kills Foxy Boy instead. Oscar, Connor, God, and Rocco raid Ashy's camp while he's hunting. CS silently snaps Junkie's neck. Alex scares Gamebest off. Old Man Jenkins constructs a shack. Probably making his tower, but you know. Fox Gamer receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Warrior receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor, and Phasnos stalks Redacted. 5 screams can be heard in the distance. Vlo, Shovel, Inkman, Foxy Boy, and Junkie. Night 2. Connor and Xman hold hands. No, I don't know if they're in anything like that. CF receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor, probably Chica, or you know, Glamrock Freddy. Alex and God huddle for warmth. Ashley receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Foxhammer and Rocco huddle for warmth. Mystic receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor, most likely Monty. Redacted quietly hums. Old Man Jenkins convinces Warrior to snuggle with him. Okay. Phasnos thinks about home. Oscar questions Sandy, and Gamebest sets up camp for the night. Day 3. Xman travels to higher ground. Gamebest is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Redacted receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Mystic, Phasnos, and Oscar quietly ambush and kills CF, Connor, and Ashy. Warrior, God, and Alex stop fighting, but God runs as Warrior kills Alex. Old Man Jenkins searches for a water source. Rocco discovers the river, and Fox Gamer receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. 4 screams can be heard in the distance. CF, Connor, Ashy, and Alex. God, Rocco, and Mystic cheerfully sing songs together. Xman and Gamebest hold hands. Yes, he had to go someone else after, you know, the death of his last one. Redacted and Foxhammer huddle for warmth. Phasnos is unable to start fire and sleeps about war. Oscar convinces Warrior to snuggle with him, and Old Man Jenkins sets up camp for the night. Mystic discovers a cave in Day 4. Phasnos tries to spear fight a trident. Rocco tries to spear fish fight a trident. God chases Gamebest. Oscar shoots a poisonous blow dart into Warrior's neck, slowly killing him. Xman travels to higher ground. Redact makes a wooden spear, and Old Man Jenkins chases Fox Gamer. 1 scream can be heard in the distance. Warrior. Gamebest receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Oscar is awoken by nightmares. God, Mystic, and Redacted sleep in shifts. Rocco repeatedly stabs Phasnos' death with sighs. Xman tends to his wounds. Foxhammer receives clean water from an unknown sponsor, and Old Man Jenkins thinks about home, whatever his home may be. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, and weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Gamebest decides not to go to the feast. Redacted decides not to go to the feast. God decides not to go to the feast. Foxhammer decides not to go to the feast. Old Man Jenkins decides not to go to the feast. And Rocco decides not to go to the feast, as well as Xman. Mystic overpowers Oscar, killing him. Day 5. Redacted questions her sanity, which is normal. Foxhammer overhears Game Best and Old Man Jenkins talking in the distance. Xman questions his sanity, rightfully. Rocco questions his sanity. God questions his sanity, and Mystic searches for a water source. Two screams can be heard in the distance: Phasnos and Oscar. Rocco sets up camp for the night. Game Best thinks about home. Xman begs for Foxhammer to kill him. She refuses, keeping Xman alive. God severely slices Mystic with a sword. Redacted starts a fire, and Old Man Jenkins sets up camp for the night. Xman collects fruit from a tree on day 6. Rocco searches for firewood. God collects fruit from a tree. Old Man Jenkins hunts for other tributes. Redacted thinks about home. Game Best searches for firewood. Foxhammer dies of dysentery. A monstrous hurricane ravaged on the arena as the event. Xman, Rocco, God, Game Best, Redacted survive, with Old Man Jenkins being incapacitated by the flying debris and dying. 3 screams can be heard in the distance: Mystic, Foxhammer, and Old Man Jenkins. Night 6. God quietly hums. Xman tends to his wounds. Game Best attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Rocco goes to sleep, and Redacted starts a fire. Day 7. God collects fruit from a tree. Rocco spears Game Best in the abdomen. Redacted steals from Xman while he isn't looking. 1 scream can be heard in the distance: Game Best. Redacted and God cuddle for warmth on night 7. Rocco sets up camp for the night, and Xman passes out from exhaustion, which is kind of normal for him, let's be honest. Day 8. Rocco tries to sleep through the entire day. God collects fruit from a tree. Redacted camouflages herself in the bushes, and Xman travels to higher ground. No screams can be heard in the distance. Xman defeats Rocco in a fight, but spares his life. Redacted bashes God's head in with a mace. Xman severely injures Redacted, but puts her out of her misery, and Rocco bleeds out to untreated injuries. 3 screams can be heard in the distance: God, Redacted, and Rocco. The winner of round 1 is Xman from District 1. Now, personally, this is rigged. Xman got 1st place, Rocco got 2nd, Redacted got 3rd, and the Groomer got last. So let's proceed to round 2. Round 2. As the tributes stand on their podium, the horn sounds. Shovel takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. Xman repeatedly stabs Connor to death with sighs. Foxhammer grabs a shovel. God finds a bow, some arrows, and a quiver. Oscar runs away from the cornucopia. Ashy and Game Best fight for a bag. Ashy gives up and retreats. Rocco takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. CF runs away from the cornucopia. Fear runs away from the cornucopia. Oogway, Inkman, and Warrior work together to get as many supplies as possible. Phasnos throws a knife into Eleven's head. Foxy Boy stays at the cornucopia for resources. Mystic runs away from the cornucopia. Vlo, Alex, and Old Man Jenkins work together to get as many supplies as possible. Redacted finds Raven hiding in the cornucopia and kills him. And Junkie runs away with a lighter and cigarette. Day 1. Ashley makes a wooden spear. CF sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. God, Rocco, Foxy Boy, and Inkman hunt for other tributes. Foxhammer picks flowers. Fear collects food from a tree. Fruit from a tree, sorry. Old Man Jenkins chases Redacted. Well, he won't let this currently. Phasnos, Game Best, Junkie, and Warrior raid Alex's camp while he is hunting. Oscar sees smoke rising in the distance and decides not to investigate. Oogway defeats Blow in a fight and spares his life. Xman is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Mystic collects fruit from a tree, and Shovel makes a slingshot. 3 screams can be heard in the distance: Connor, Levin, and Draven. Night 1. Xman, CF, Flo, and Alex and Junkie sleep in shifts. Well, Junkie and Alex gotta stick together, you know, father-son. Rocco tries to treat his infection. Old Man Jenkins passes out from exhaustion. Foxy Boy tends to Inkman's wounds. Oogway tends to his wounds. Fear tries to sing himself to sleep. Redacted, Oscar, Warrior, and James tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Foxhammer taints Mystic's food, killing him. Phasnos receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. God sees a fire but stays hidden. Shovel destroys Ashy's supplies while he is asleep. Day 2. Ashley receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Old Man Jenkins scares Fear off. CF chases Xman. Probably for hidden Chica, let's be honest. Foxhammer steals from Game Best Camp while he isn't looking. Rocco explores the arena. Phasnos instructs us Jack. Blow tries to sleep for the entire day. Uguay questions his sanity. Redacted receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Alex attacks Inkman, but he manages to escape. Warrior begs for Chunky to kill him. He refuses, keeping Warrior alive. Oscar travels to higher ground. Foxy Boy and Shovel split up to search for resources, and God camouflages himself in the bushes. Arena event. A monstrous hurricane wreaks havoc on the arena. Xman survives. Redacted is incapacitated by the flying debris and dies. Foxy Boy pushes Fear into an incoming boulder. Blow survives. Oscar survives. Alex survives. Shovel's incapacitated by flying debris and dies. Junkie is sucked into the hurricane. Phasnos is incapacitated by the flying debris and dies. Inkman, Ashy survive. Foxhammer is sucked into the hurricane. Game Best survives. Uguay is incapacitated by the flying debris and dies. CF survives. Rocco is sucked into the hurricane. God survives. Warrior is sucked into the hurricane, and Old Man Jenkins survives. 10 screams can be heard in the distance. Mystic, Redacted, Fear, Shovel, Junkie, Phasnos, Foxhammer, Uguay, Rocco, and Warrior. Night 2. Foxy Boy quietly hums. Old Man Jenkins is awoken by nightmares. Ashley and Alex run into each other and decide to choose for the night. Game Best quietly hums. God is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Xman tries to sing himself to sleep. Oscar tries to treat his infection. Lo cooks his food before putting his fire out, and CF destroys Inkman's supplies while he is asleep. Old Man Jenkins tries to sleep through the entire day. Game Best receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Foxy Boy steals from Xman while he isn't looking. Lo sprains his ankle running away from Oscar. CF makes a slingshot. God receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Ashley diverts Inkman's attention and runs away. Alex discovers a river. No screams can be heard in the distance. Night 3. Ashley begs for Old Man Jenkins to kill him. He refuses, keeping Ashley alive. Inkman goes to sleep. Alex, CF, Oscar, and Game Best sleep in shifts. Lo, Foxy Boy, and God sleep in shifts. The Xman is awoken by nightmares. Xman kills Ashley for his supplies. Well, hey, Xman's just limiting his simps a bit. Game Best pushes Inkman off a cliff during a night fight. Lo discovers a river. Oscar receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Alex practices archery. God steals from CF while she isn't looking. Foxy Boy camouflages himself in the bushes, and Old Man Jenkins travels to higher ground. 2 screams can be heard in the distance. Ashy, the Inkman. Night 4. Old Man Jenkins cooks his food before putting his fire out. Game Best receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Foxy Boy receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Vlo, CF, God, Alex, and Xman sleep in shifts. And Oscar loses sight of where he is. The feast. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's family. Foxy Boy decides not to go to the feast. Game Best decides not to go to the feast. Vlo, Old Man Jenkins, and God gets in a fight. God triumphantly kills them both. CF decides not to go to the feast. Xman decides not to go to the feast. Alex decides not to go to the feast, and Oscar decides not to go to the feast. Alex falls into a pit and dies. Game Best receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. CF receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Oscar scares Xman off, and Foxy Boy runs away from God. 3 screams can be heard in the distance. Vlo, Old Man Jenkins, and Alex. Oscar shoots an arrow into God's head. Foxy Boy and Xman run into each other and decide for the truce tonight, and CF kills Game Best while he's asleep. Xman diverts CF's attention and runs away. Oscar constructs a shack, and Foxy Boy receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. 2 screams can be heard in the distance. God and Game Best. CF receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Oscar, Xman, and Foxy Boy cheerfully sing songs together. Xman steals from Foxy Boy while he isn't looking. CF poisons Oscar drinks. He drinks it and dies. A scream can be heard in the distance. Oscar. Foxy Boy receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. CF tries to sing herself to sleep, and Xman dies from thirst. El Bozo. And CF strangles Foxy Boy with a rope. 2 screams can be heard in the distance. Xman and Foxy Boy. The winner of round 2 is CF. At least it was not Xman. CF got first, Foxy Boy second, and Xman got third. When Connor got last, and 11 almost got last again. But let's proceed on to the third and final round. Round 3. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Redacted runs away from the cornucopia. CF severely injures Xman and leaves him to die. God grabs a shovel. Inkman and Foxy Boy fight. Fear and Game Best. Inkman and Foxy Boy survive. Draven pushes Fox Gamer off a cliff during a knife fight. Old Man Jenkins, Phasnos, and 11 run away from the cornucopia. Connor, Oogway, and Rocco will work together to get as much supplies as possible. Mystic retrieves a trident from inside the cornucopia. Alex runs away from the cornucopia. Ashley finds a backpack full of camping equipment. Oscar takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Junkie runs away from the cornucopia. Warrior runs away from the cornucopia. And Vlo breaks Shovel's nose for a basket of bread. Vlo wanted his bread. God and Old Man Jenkins team up and hunt for tributes. That could not be any worse. Connor defeats Oogway in a fight, but spares his life. Inkman and Alex work together for the day. Oscar makes a wooden spear. Vlo fishes. Foxy Boy receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Mystic steals from Draven while he isn't looking. Junkie sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. Ashley tends to Phasnos' wounds. Rocco travels to higher ground. Shovel travels to higher ground. 11 are redacted. CF and Warrior hunt for the tributes. 4 screams can be heard in the distance. Xman, Fear, Game Best, and Fox Gamer. Of course, Xman died first. He's not really good at the game. CF and Oogway run into each other but decide to truce for the night. Rocco is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Connor, Oscar, Vlo, and Redacted tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Junkie thinks about winning. Draven attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Inkman loses sight of where he is. God receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Phasnos and 11 tell stories about themselves to each other. Warrior tends to Shovel's wounds. Alex goes to sleep. Foxy Boy is unable to start a fire and sleeps about warmth. Mystic and Old Man Jenkins sleep in shifts. Ashy cries himself to sleep. Day 2. CF's trap kills Redacted. Rocco makes a wooden spear. Inkman discovers River. Shovel tries to spear with a trident. Foxy Boy questions his sanity. God steals from Oogway while he isn't looking. Warrior attacks Oscar, but he manages to escape. Connor, Alex, Draven, and Ashy hunt for other tributes. Junkie receives medical supplies from the sponsor. Old Man Jenkins chases 11. Mystic thinks about home. Vlo goes hunting, and Phasnos hunts for other tributes. 1 scream can be heard in the distance. Redacted. Night 2. Mystic, Warrior, and Junkie cheerfully sing songs together. Alex and 11 track down and kill Oogway. Connor climbs a tree to rest. God cries himself to sleep. Rocco climbs the tree to rest. CF loses sight of where she is. Phasnos tries to sing himself to sleep. Vlo thinks about home. Oscar is woken by nightmares. Old Man Jenkins questions his sanity. Draven questions his sanity. Foxy Boy screams for help. Ashy and Inkman sleep in shifts. Shovel dies from thirst. Day 3. 11 tries to spear a fish with a trident. Inkman begs for Phasnos to kill him. He refuses, keeping Inkman alive. God explores the arena. God searches for water. Connor searches for a water source. Vlo receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Mystic makes a slingshot. Ashy, Alex, and Draven get into a fight. Ashy triumphantly kills them both. Rocco runs away from Oscar. Foxy Boy begs for Warrior to kill him. He refuses, keeping Foxy Boy alive. Old Man Jenkins hunts for other tributes, and CF questions her sanity. 4 screams can be heard in the distance. Oogway, Shovel, Alex, and Draven. Night 3. Vlo cries himself to sleep. 11 cooks his food before putting his fire out. Inkman, Warrior, and Junkie discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. God defeats Phasnos in the fight and spares his life. Connor and CF talk about the tribute still alive. Ashley cooks his food before putting his fire out. Foxy Boy, Mystic, and Oscar discuss the games and what they think might happen in the morning. Rocco begs for Old Man Jenkins to kill him. He refuses, keeping Rocco alive. Rocco searches for firewood. Day 4. Vlo runs away from Junkie. Foxy Boy and Mystic hunt for other tributes. Warrior receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Phasmos questions his sanity. Old Man Jenkins scares Ashy off. CF bashes Connor's head in with a mace. Oscar makes a slingshot. God accidentally steps on a landmine. Levinton's not home and Inkman travels to higher ground. Two screams can be heard in the distance. Connor and God. Night 4. Vlo defeats Junkie in a fight but spares his life. Ashy and Phasmos run into each other but decide to chase for the night. Old Man Jenkins and 11 huddle for warmth. Okay. Inkman dies from hypothermia. Mystic stays awake all night. Foxy Boy questions his sanity. Warrior climbs a tree to rest. Rocco convinces Oscar to snuggle with him. And CF screams for help. Day 5. Rocco, CF, and Old Man Jenkins successfully ambush and kill Mystic, Oscar, and Ashy. Warrior scares 11 off. Foxy Boy questions his sanity. Phasmos hunts for other tributes. Junkie diverts Vlo's attention and runs away. 4 screams can be heard in the distance. Inkman, Mystic, Oscar, and Ashy. Night 5. Old Man Jenkins defeats Phasmos in a fight that spares his life. Rocco convinces CF to snuggle with him. Vlo stays awake all night. 11 questions his sanity. Junkie sets up camp for the night. Warrior bleeds out due to untreated injuries, and Foxy Boy receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. 11 decides not to go to the feast. Junkie decides not to go to the feast. CF decides not to go to the feast. Foxy Boy decapitates Vlo with a sword. Phasmos and Rocco threaten double suicide. It fails and they die. Old Man Jenkins dies from an infection. Day 6. 11 attempts to climb a tree, but falls to his death. Foxy Boy runs away from Junkie, and CF receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. 6 screams can be heard in the distance. Warrior, Vlo, Phasmos, Rocco, Old Man Jenkins, and 11. Night 6. Foxy Boy receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Junkie sings about home, and CF unknowingly eats toxic berries. Day 7. Foxy Boy stabs Junkie while his back is turned. 2 screams can be heard in the distance. CF and Junkie. The winner is Foxy Boy from District 6. Yeah, the winner is Foxy Boy of round 3. Him with Junkie getting second and CF getting third. And last place rightfully going to Xman. But I know this was a different type of video, but I had fun. Even though I am pretty sick right now, but yeah. Just let me know in the comments if you want me to do this again, and I'll put the link to this in the description in case any of you want to try it out or make a video on it. If you do make a video, just credit me, please. But I hope you all have a fantastic day, and goodbye!